Hello, my name is Micah Wong, and this is my Be the Change project. And I chose my topic to be uh, gun violence in the U.S., specifically because of the amount of shootings that we've seen in the past couple months, especially in 2018. So let's begin. Disclaimer: I don't believe that there's such thing as an unbiased news outlet. What I mean by this is like a lot of sources I use, such as CNN, are considered liberal. So there's a lot of I guess they're pointed towards a specific audience. But I also believe that it doesn't change the fact that the facts that they use inside their articles are true. It just depends how you look at it. Okay, some of the observations I've seen. Guns have always been part of American culture ever since the Second Amendment. So, part of how our country was built around the idea that people would be able to have the freedom to own a gun. Both sides of the gun regulation feel very strongly for the other part. What this means is, basically what you think it means. Pro-gun, anti-gun, they both have very strong opinions about each other. Okay, and school shootings have been around for a while. It hasn't really taken notice until recently, when the incidences have become much more major and a lot more noticeable in the different news outlets. But the earliest recorded was in 1764 with the Enoch Brown School Massacre, in which 10 people were killed. Like I said in the PowerPoint, in the 2000s, we see a sharp rise in school shootings, starting with the Virginia Tech Massacre in 2007, where 33 were killed and 23 wounded. This was kind of a point in time where people began to realize, look, there's a problem, and how are we going to solve this? And since 2000, there have been 188 school shootings. Just a side note, the previous slide, 188 doesn't mean that every single time someone was killed or injured. It just means that there was a shooting. Where does the problem lie? I don't think that it's easy to pinpoint one specific problem, because the whole issue of gun control is a very, very big and a complex situation. So I just chose a couple of the major ones. One of them has to do with race. I searched up a statistic. Over 70% of the mass shootings conducted in a survey were considered Caucasian/white. This was from the time period of 1986 to 2012. Many people believe that quote-unquote white culture has been formed, which is leading to these shootings. Others believe that it is the ease of access to guns. Every single time there's a school shooting, there's always articles talking about how easy it is to get a hold of guns, and I think that's a major problem. 33 out of 50 of the states allow private sellers to sell without any background check. So there's definitely something that can be done about that, especially because it's just so important to keep guns away from people who don't have the mental stability to own one. So yeah. How would I solve this? I believe that stricter gun control is the only way. I don't think there's any way that you can jump around it, because at the end of the day, all those different background checks also have to rely on human judgment, and that's something we shouldn't have to rely on, just because humans make mistakes all the time, and even though they might not do it intentionally, it could end up causing someone else's lives to get lost. While many people may argue that there is no solution to gun violence, it's also important to know that we can't do anything. We've seen this problem occur time and time again, in this past decade, and the frequency of these mass shootings are only increasing. So there's obviously something that has to be done, and I think gun control, stricter gun laws, will be the easiest way to combat this. I don't think that people need to own an assault rifle. I think a hunting rifle is fine. People who argue that an assault rifle is just as dangerous as a hunting rifle also miss the fact that assault rifle is capable of shooting many more bullets than a hunting rifle. So, yeah, I believe we need stricter gun control.